Now, we normally do 10-minute tours around machine shops. Today, I'm going to give you probably a 5-minute tour around this huge vision-wide machine from Ward High Tech. What's the advantage to having this build compared to, you know, what other people might see as vertical machining centres?
Okay, well, the main thing is the Y-axis stroke. And obviously, one thing that is a limiting factor is the distance between not necessarily the Y-axis itself, but the distance between the bridge.
What you can get under.
What you can get, because it's a table moving machine, and the bridge just goes backwards and forwards. The X-axis, it goes, crosses the part underneath the bridge.
Okay, now basically this bridge style machine here, you've got 2 columns and then you've got the bridge across the
That's
top.
right.
So it's the best and most stable way of machining a part, isn't it? Wherever you're attacking it on the table,
right.
I assume you get the same.
Yes, and also
precision.
on the ram, you can see if you look carefully, we've got a box construction. For some options we can go linear guide. So we've got various options, depends on the customer's priority of specification.
Okay, now the great thing about this machine as well is it's available from stock here at Ward High Tech, and they're doing a buy now, pay 2023. So if you are interested, this is the time to contact them. Richard, step this way. Let's have a look at the machine through here, because I love this. This just really illustrates, you know, just how big the machine is, doesn't it, in an X-axis. Absolutely huge.
Yeah, this is where you need your binoculars.
How big do they go beyond this?
This one has got a 4-metre stroke, and although ultimately you can go almost any length you like, but in the standard range, the biggest is 10 metres.
Okay, now the beauty here is, I suppose, you can access the machine from here, because you can see these doors come, away, don't they? All right, let's move this way. We'll keep this moving. Okay. Here is your swarf conveyor here.
Yes.
Now the 2 augers, I'm assuming, feed this, and then
feed the conveyor.
The actual swarf comes out here.
Then you'd have the bin underneath there. Yes.
Right. Okay. So you've got an auger either side, and then the conveyor will basically feed out all of the swarf here.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Keeps it in a pretty tight footprint as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now let's move on to what's actually cutting the part and what's making the part, because this is your tool changer. If you want to step to the left of me there, Richard. So this is where your tool changer is in here. But it's not just tools that you can change on this machine as well. You can change the heads, I believe.
That's right. So here we've got a 40-tool ATC. This particular machine is BT50 spindle. But as you see here, this is where the end of the tool changes. The head changer would sit in this area of the machine here.
Okay.
So it'd be on this same orientation of the machine, and then we could have maybe 2 or 3 potential different heads, which can all be changed automatically.
Okay, so if you had different heads, you'd want that because you might want to do some side-face machining, give you the ability to not move parts around. Because I'm assuming when you've got a machine this size, the last thing you want to be doing is actually picking parts up and moving them.
Exactly, losing accuracy and setup.
What do we got here, Richard?
Here's a hydraulic power pack.
Okay.
Very easy to service, adjustments to pressures. Here we've got the spindle oil cooler.
How important is that?
Very important if you're going to go run at a lot of high-speed machining. Keeps the, will actually both heat and cool to keep a constant temperature. But very useful, because even in England we have factories which run quite hot in summer.
Occasionally.
Yes.
Okay, talk to me about this.
Right.
Because this is something that's pretty unique.
This is quite an interesting bit of kit. This is our CTS, coolant through spindle unit. 2 pluses. One is we can monitor the volume of coolant in the tank. If the coolant goes too low, then it's impossible to cut dry. If you're doing aluminium machining, for instance, if you're going using high-speed tools, run dry, you effectively weld the material to the tools.
Right. Okay. So is this feeding both the coolant in the machine and through the spindle?
No, this is specifically the through spindle coolant.
Right. So you have 2 different feeds of coolant.
That's right.
In this machine.
Yeah.
That's quite different to some machines, isn't it? And
That's right.
And what's the advantage to that?
Oh, we can have higher pressure. We can have up to 70 bar on here. And also, if we point to this feature here, quite a very simple but effective feature. We've got twin filters for the through spindle coolant. So that these do need cleaning from time to time on any machine, not just a Vision Wide, but it means that don't have to stop the machine. We can turn that handle, you can see one in front, one rear, so that one filter's working, one filter's been taken out for maintenance, replace it with a new one, cleaning it.
So you keep the machine running, which is what we always talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, Richard, let's continue our 360 tour around the machine. This is another view, obviously, of the table right down the end of the machine, but you can start to see here, even the RAM and the
you can see the boxway section.
Yeah.
And you can see also, if you look carefully, on the back of the bridge, that's the connection point for fourth axis.
Those two plugs are basically where you've put a fourth axis unit in.
You connect
so
to
it's
that.
all prepped, it's all ready for that.
Everything's ready to go.
Great stuff. Okay, back round the front. Do you need, for a machine like this,
so
I see you're sitting on pads here.
Yeah.
Go on, tell us about this.
This is just a straightforward transformer. In here is a full electrical cabinet of the machine. Machines of this type, we would invariably bolt down so that when we're testing it, installing it, we can maintain the factory accuracy, so that the customer's got the benefit of that year on year when he uses the machine.
Okay, a couple of final points. Firstly, control here. This is on a pendant, quite nice. I suppose you can move it into the machine if you need to.
You can do everything.
You can do everything with it. Just a FANUC system, or can you offer others?
No, we can offer Heidenhain, as well as this has got the FANUC OIMF, but for certain types of machine we can have the FANUC 31i control as well.
Okay, so the option there, so if you're used to either FANUC or Heidenhain, you could select either of those. Richard, roof on, roof off. Got the option here with this too.
What's very interesting is this design of door. You can see that even Paul can move this with his hand. Very light, easy to do.
He's getting used to our sense of humour here at MTD.
And when we move the door, you can see they're at different heights. And each door section would have its own roof section. So that as you bring the door forward, then the roof is concertinaing, closing in the same way as the doors are. So what is quite an important feature is that we run on the V, which is a very traditional way of locating things, and that's what makes it a very smooth and easy to operate door system.
It's very light as well, albeit well built.
As I said,
feel,
you can move that part.
It's like power steering on your car, isn't it? Richard, final points then. Vision Wide, Ward High Tech, plenty of bridge-style machines out there.
Yeah.
Why this one?
I think this one, for a stock machine for us, really is a very good man for all seasons. 4 metres in X generally gives customers that bit of extra opportunity for longer parts, or, as I said earlier, mounting multiple parts on the table. 2 metres in the Y, again, really big scope for big parts or multiple part loading.
You missed that one very important point. Buy now, pay 2023. Where else can you go? Interestingly, I'd be intrigued to know where one of these is available ex stock. You can have it in your factory in no time and not have to part with a penny. They'll even part exchange old machines as trade-ins for a deposit. Plenty of opportunity to get your hands on this machine and basically buy it now and not pay anything until 2023.
I mean, this, Paul, is a Ward High Tech tradition of our owner, Mr. Hill, God bless his soul wherever he is, of having one or two large capacity machines in our stock, because when people want them, not everybody can wait the 12-month or 9-month delivery from placing the order to a machine sitting on their factory floor.
Here in stock in Sheffield. Visit wardhightech.co.uk.